Over the centuries, hundreds of stories have been told about giant creatures in the sea. Perhaps the most famous is the mysterious serpent Nessie, who lurks in the deep waters of the Loch Ness in Scotland. Today, I've brought the Life to the Max cameras and the M-Team to the waters of the mighty Mississippi in southern Minnesota's Lake Pepin in search of a mysterious freshwater serpent by the name of Pepie.
Pepie Hotline, how can I help you?
This is Larry Nielson, the man who has been leading the charge to find Pepie. Larry wants proof of her existence and has thrown in an incentive for this proof.
Maybe if I offer a $50,000 reward for undisputable scientific evidence that Pepie exists, then we will, that'll spur some interest and get some expeditions mounted on the lake here.
That's all I needed to hear. As they say, time is money. And with that, it was time to search for the creature. Lake Pepin is 22 miles long and only 2 miles wide. This would call for a specialized boat. With Larry's help, we commandeered his seaworthy vessel, the Pearl of the Lake. Once on board, I realized what a great crew Larry had assembled, led by our salty sea captain, Captain Rudy. And how deep is Lake Pepin through here?
Well, average depth right now is about 24 feet deep. Right now we're considered in the main channel. You'll see the barges coming up and down here. So they're about in the 20 to 24 foot range.
And have you seen Pepie yourself, Captain?
I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them. I've seen some strange things out here, but I haven't seen Pepie.
The sightings of the creature go back to the 19th century.
On April 28, 1871, a lake monster seen swimming on Lake Pepin. There was some Indian lore that went back further than that, where the local Dakota tribe used to be afraid to go on Lake Pepin in thin-skinned birch bark canoes.
As the Pearl pushed through these mysterious waters, I came across a very ironic discovery.
You know what I find interesting is that actually Lake Pepin, here's a map of it, is actually sort of shaped like Pepie. You got the tail back here, and then the hump, and then the fire-breathing mouth out here. Can you get a close-up?
Ice bug! Ice bug dead ahead!
My fault. Actually, it was the bloated carcass of a dead carp. Could this be a sign? We must be getting close. My investigative instincts kicked in.
Carrie and Keegan, any Pepie sightings so far, Carrie?
Oh, we thought we saw something out there, but he couldn't quite see exactly what it was with his little binoculars.
Keegan, did you see anything? What are you expecting if you see Pepie?
I think it's a little mysterious. Something green, maybe?
I usually see them at night.
Yeah?
They're out more at night.
Is that typically after the sunset cocktail cruise, Craig?
Definitely. Yeah.
I smell me some Pepie.
As the morning wore on, I really felt we were getting close.
All right, so how long is Pepie supposed to be? Anywhere from what to what?
Well, we think somewhere between 15 and 30 feet long.
As morning turned to noon, Captain Rudy turned the controls over to perhaps a better set of eyes.
And then if we run into Pepie out here, do I just pull these back as I just yank on those things?
Pull back on the throttle, she'll shut her down, and we'll just drift. We don't want the paddles injuring Pepie.
Gotcha.
As I navigated the Pearl through these treacherous waters, we encountered our most concrete sighting yet. At precisely 1300 hours off the Pearl's bow.
Christopher, you think you saw Pepie?
Mm-hmm.
Where was he?
He was down in the water somewhere. I think I saw something.
Hopefully not caught up in those paddles.
No. He was in the front over there.
What did you see? What did he look like?
He was pretty big though.
Was he as big as this boat?
Almost.
There you have it, a terrifying eyewitness account. With the fog rolling in and 8-foot swells, we thought it best to bring the Pearl and her crew back into the safe haven of Lake City. Larry and I continued our search on land, and he told me of the recent diver who saw something and refused to go back into the water. There were many clues to the serpent's existence, including this bit of fuzzy 8mm film taken by an unknown photographer. M-Team investigative reporter Emily Paluzinak took to downtown Lake City, where the marketing of this creature is in full force.
Yes, we have Pepie sweatshirts,
that we have embroidered locally, Pepie hats, and they're both adult and youth sizes.
Jill, I noticed you have a lot of candy here in your store. What is one of your best sellers?
Our handmade chocolates and fudge are our best sellers, and one of our handmade chocolates is something we call Pepie Chow, not to be confused with Puppy Chow.
Wow, this is really good.
After a couple of more bites of Pepie Chow, it was over to Roger Garlich's Lake City Beach Cabana. Roger has had his shop on the lake for years, and he's seen and even caught many things in the lake, including this 47-inch paddlefish. However, Roger has never believed in Pepie. Until recently, that is. Roger and I prepped to go back into the water which just days before he had spotted a massive snake-like creature.
Actually, I was sitting on the shore right up here, and about 30 yards out from the shore, all of a sudden I seen this ripple that come across the water. At first it looked like a fish coming across the top that was V'ing out, but the problem with it was it was about 30 feet long. The head looked more like what I would consider like a large snake. It kind of came up and went down, and it did that twice.
Like a serpent.
Like a serpent, exactly like a serpent.
Roger, you're getting a little emotional talking about this, and that's okay.
It's kind of different. You know, we all had heard the folklore, but I didn't ever see anything. You know, so.
With your own eyes, and not only your own eyes, but you were out here with a couple other people who saw the same thing you did.
Exactly. Right.
When it finally swam away, what conversations did you have with those people? What was the consensus?
I said, well, I feel totally different about what we do out here. I give rides on the pontoon. I do different things and things like that. And we let people swim off of the pontoon out in the middle of the lake a lot. And that won't happen anymore.
With that, I knew I had to head upriver to St. Paul to talk with my friend and doctor of veterinary science, Dr. Jay Epping, who has worked as a consultant and investigative researcher to special cases for TV shows such as Monster Quest. I'm guessing you're going to need some more evidence to go on than just eyewitness accounts that there's a lake monster in Lake Pepin. But is it possible? Is there a chance there could be something like that that's living in the waters of Lake Pepin?
I would say there's probably, yeah, there's a chance, you know, 1%, half of a percent, maybe. You know, I mean, you got to look at it, you know, think of all the people that go through Lake Pepin, drive by, think of, you know, how we've evolved to a scientific society to be able to, you know, do ultrasound the lake bottom and find something. If something like that, if a 35-foot lake monster really existed in Lake Pepin, I'm pretty certain we would have found something to prove its existence. Can I say it's not there? I can't say it's not there. Do I think it's likely? It's not likely that something like that exists.
With that nod of affirmation to Pepie's existence, I handed over the hours of eyewitness accounts to renowned outdoor artist Dirk Hansen for some CSI-like creation of the creature.
And so I'm trying to kind of go by the stories that people have told me to recreate this, well, I don't know if you could call it a monster, but...
After months in his studio reconstructing the eyewitness accounts into a three-dimensional work of art, the likeness of Pepie has been created. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in history, we give you Pepie, the creature of Lake Pepin. Well, there you have it. Life to the Max's lengthy investigative report on Pepie. We've heard the stories of the legend. We've talked to the eyewitnesses. We've talked to the researchers. But the question remains, will Pepie ever be found out here on the body of water that's known as Lake Pepin? It's for each of us to keep a lookout.
Life to the Max is brought to you by Life Touch, photography for a lifetime.